Hey everyone, welcome back. You know that feeling, right? Like we're all juggling a million things trying to make this whole work-life balance thing actually work.
It's a hot topic. Everyone's talking about it.
Exactly. And we stumbled across this, well, it's like a list almost. 5 steps for a healthier work-life balance. Catchy, huh? But here's the thing. We don't just want to talk about it. We want to give you the tools to actually use these tips.
Make it actionable. Love that.
Right. So first up, set boundaries. Sounds simple, but I feel like in reality, it's one of the trickiest things, right? I mean, especially now with, everything being so blended.
It's a blending, isn't it? Like, think about it. If you're always on for work mentally, no boundaries, eventually you burn out, guaranteed. You get resentful, your work suffers. It's like you wouldn't run a marathon without any breaks, right?
Oof, yeah, bad idea.
Our minds are the same way. They need downtime to recharge.
Okay, that's a good analogy.
Like it.
So how do we actually set boundaries, make them real, not just like a vague idea?
Totally. One thing that's really helpful is physical space. Like, if you're working from home, maybe after work hours, the laptop stays at the desk. It doesn't go on the couch. Or phone rules. Work calls during work hours unless it's a real emergency.
Otherwise, silence that phone.
Exactly. And this
Yeah.
is huge. You got to tell people. Colleagues, family, everyone, these are my boundaries.
Setting expectations on all sides.
Yes, communication is key.
Love it. Okay, speaking of things we struggle to make time for, prioritize self-care. Now, when I hear that, I immediately think bubble bath, spa day.
Right. Who has time for that?
Seriously,
Yeah.
not happening on a Tuesday night. So how do we make self-care more realistic?
It's about shifting perspective. Self-care doesn't have to be this big, luxurious thing. It can be small, even 15 minutes. Just doing something you enjoy that recharges you.
Okay, that makes it way more doable. What are some examples? What do you do for self-care?
Oh, anything. Reading a few pages of a good book, a quick walk outside, calling a friend. It's those little things.
Yeah, little things, big impact.
Totally.
So next up, delegate tasks and unplug after hours. What strikes me is they both kind of force us to give up control a little.
It's the control freak dilemma, right?
And we all have a little of that in us.
We do. But there's a reason we overwork. Maybe it's validation, fear of not being good enough, or just, society telling us we have to do it all. But honestly, pushing ourselves constantly, that just leads to burnout.
And no one wins then.
Nobody wins. So start small. Can you delegate a task at work, even just one email, or let a coworker take the lead on something?
Yeah, share the load.
Exactly. And unplugging. Try it like just 1 hour after work, phone on, do not disturb. You'll be amazed at the difference.
Little changes, big results.
Exactly.
Okay, last tip, and I'll admit, this one always throws me. Schedule personal activities. It feels counterintuitive.
I know, like, shouldn't free time be free?
No.
But our brains are wired weird. We prioritize urgent over important. If it's not scheduled, it gets pushed aside by more important stuff.
Even if that stuff is just like scrolling on our phones.
Sadly, yes. So
Yeah.
scheduling fun, even if it feels odd, makes it more likely to happen.
It's about being intentional.
100.
Before we wrap up, what's one thing, big or small, you can schedule for yourself this week? Movie night, hike, something just for you.
It's a good challenge. Instead of asking, how do I find work-life balance? What if we asked, what does a fulfilling life look like? And how does work fit into that?
Ooh, that's a good one. Makes you think bigger picture, right? All right, quick recap. Set those boundaries, prioritize you, delegate tasks, unplug after work, and schedule those fun activities.
Don't forget the fun.
Exactly. And remember, these are tools, not rules. Experiment. Find what works for you.
You got this.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive, everyone. Until next time.